Hey friends, so I am going to just give a quick talk, should just be a couple minutes about what's going on with this performance review assignment, sort of to preempt a couple questions that I think are important that I know I would have if I saw this assignment. And just to say, I know that this is hard. The whole thing with online learning, like we even us as graduate students are talking about just how difficult this thing is. And for you guys, as you're moving through this, I just wanted to say that I see what you're doing. I see your work. You guys are doing it. You guys are pushing through this. And I know that it's hard and there's just a little bit more. Just a little bit. We have half a week here, a week, Thanksgiving break, and then 2 weeks after that. So I say this to say, you got this. If there's anything you need as far as the class goes, let me know. Be in touch. I'm more than happy to help you. Because, yeah, we're in this with you guys, and we know that this is hard for us, and I know that this is to varying degrees hard for you all. But the bottom line is this is not a normal semester, never has been. I wish things had been different and we've been able to meet in person, but we're in this spot. So let's keep going. We've got this. Right? Okay, so performance review. What are we doing? So the idea with this assignment is just to give you all kind of a quick practical skill of being able to talk about, okay, so here's where I started off in an area, and here's where I've grown in an area, because this can help you in lots of different ways. This can help you when you are writing an application for a job. If you're writing a cover letter, you might need to demonstrate how you've grown in an area. I know that I did that when I was applying for schools in the area so I graduated from K-State with my education degree, and then I applied to work with different schools in the area. So I wrote cover letters where I was like, oh, hey, this is how awesome your school is, because the schools here are awesome, like in this area. But then also saying, okay, so here's where I think that I can make a difference. For example, here's this area that I've grown in, and that I think it would be beneficial if I were to bring that skill to this school. So that's kind of what we're doing is we're learning in this assignment. We're working on our ability to look back on things that we've done and be able to detail for other people, here's how we've grown in these. Because then this doesn't go away after the interview process for a job. This happens when you're in a job. For example, when I was teaching at Junction City Middle School, I had two major observations. And the first major observation, the only problem was that nothing worked. I had all these plans, I had this wonderful activity planned out, and the students that day at that time were not having it. And so this like wonderful thing that I had planned out, this like great collaborative activity where students were going to be sharing things and like helping teach the class, yeah, didn't work. So we had to like adjust on the fly and come up with a new plan, and that did not look great on an observation. So with that as the baseline, when I was observed the next time that year, what happened was that I planned another collaborative activity, and that collaborative activity went a lot better in a few different ways. So what I did in my performance review is I said, okay, so the first time, here are the mistakes that I made in classroom management and running my classroom that contributed. Like, yeah, the students were not having it and they weren't doing really well. Like, they were not doing awesome that day. But here are the mistakes I made in classroom management that led to the dumpster fire that was my first observation. But then here are the things that I did differently to where we were able to have this like wonderful class-wide collaborative academic discussion about like 3 different books that we'd read. And it was awesome because the students were awesome. So I had to detail, all right, here's where I started, here's what I changed, and here was the result of that change. So in this performance review assignment, you guys are doing something really similar. You guys are detailing, okay, so let's say like we're talking about our skill of doing the research process. You might say, okay, here's where I started when trying to research and then write about it. Here are some ways maybe that did work really well, or some ways that didn't work very well. Here's what I changed, and here's how I grew in doing the research process for a paper throughout the semester, right? So the whole point of this assignment is detailing, here's where we started, here's how we grew, here's where we ended up. And so this assignment, you know that there is a rough draft of this coming up on this coming Tuesday, so 6 days from today. However, I hope it doesn't freak you out because the cap for this assignment is 2 pages. This assignment shouldn't be over 2 pages, right? So you're writing a succinct performance review. There's a lot of flexibility in what you want to focus on, but the main focus is here's some areas where I started off in this way, I grew throughout this way, and your evidence, you're using your work as evidence for that. And then at the end, here's where we ended up. Okay? So anything you need, get in touch. I'll help you out. See you later.